scientists discovered signs of brain activity in people who experience death. The new research is yet another attempt to understand what happens to human consciousness as life leaves the body in those final moments. For years, people have been claiming to experience visuals of angels and bright lights at the end of tunnels when going through near-death experiences. Until now, scientists have had no real answer or proof to validate these experiences. The study found that 2 of the 4 comatose patients experienced a surge in their brain activity after they were taken off ventilator life support, and their heart had stopped due to cardiac arrest. The brain activity of the 4 patients was monitored via EEG technique. A spike was observed in the gamma waves belonging to a region of the brain known as the TPJ. This is the junction between the temporal, parietal, and occipital lobes at the back of the brain. This region of the brain has been known to be associated with out-of-body experiences, hallucinations, and dreams. The current study is part of a larger scope of study towards understanding the activities of the brain during near-death experiences. One such previous study in 2013 showed a spike in the brain of rats for 30 seconds after their heart had stopped, indicating some level of consciousness in the rats. The recent findings help to better understand the functioning of the brain as a person suffers through cardiac arrest and loss of life. Scientists believe further studies need to be conducted with a larger number of patients for gamma waves of the brain during cardiac arrests. However, such studies involving people experiencing near-death experiences are always going to be associated with ethical and moral dilemmas, making them a novelty and difficult to reproduce over a larger cohort of patients.
The human brain contains specific neurons that selectively fire during certain mathematical operations. Some neurons are exclusively active during additions, while others are active during subtractions. Interestingly, the activity of these neurons remains unaffected by the format of the calculation instruction, whether it is presented as a word or a symbol. Although much about the brain's processes during calculations remains unknown, studies conducted with monkeys have shown the existence of neurons dedicated to specific computational rules. However, there is limited data on humans. A recent study using a technique initially employed to pinpoint defective areas in the brain provided insights into the functioning of individual neurons. The researchers implanted multiple electrodes into the temporal lobes of 5 women and 4 men to record nerve cell activity. During the experiments, the participants were tasked with performing simple math tasks. The study revealed that different neurons fired during additions compared to subtractions. Interestingly, the neurons did not respond directly to visual symbols like plus and minus, but rather to the actual mathematical operation being performed. This response pattern persisted even when the mathematical symbols were replaced with words. This finding indicates that these discovered neurons encode the specific mathematical instructions to be executed. The recorded brain activity accurately reflected the ongoing calculations being performed by the participants.
Scientists have made an intriguing discovery by identifying time cells in the brain, specifically in the hippocampus. These special neurons are believed to play a role in encoding temporal information and organizing memories. They enable individuals to recall the correct sequence of past events when accessing their memories. Neurons in the hippocampus fire at specific moments, contributing to memory formation by encoding information about the timing and order of events. Place cells in the hippocampus encode spatial information, while these newly discovered time cells focus on temporal aspects. Previous research had found such neurons in mice, but it was unclear whether humans possessed them as well. To investigate further, researchers recorded the electrical activity of neurons in the hippocampus of epilepsy patients undergoing diagnostic monitoring. The patients were shown a sequence of images and asked to memorize their order, with intermittent quizzes testing their recall. Remarkably, time-sensitive neurons fired at specific moments, irrespective of image content. Even during gaps when no images were shown, the researchers were able to decode different time intervals based on the collective activity of these neurons. These findings provide evidence that the human brain indeed contains neurons dedicated to tracking time.